Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Grogan, and this lesson is on Unit 3, Lesson 9, and this particular lesson is on text. All right. As you can see, we're fairly far along here on the JavaScript unit on code.org, and this particular lesson deals with text. And as you would see on any website application that you use, most of them have some sort of text on there. And the way how text is implemented depends on the programming language, right? This particular lesson shows how text is used with JavaScript code. All right, it is a fairly simple lesson. I think it's probably one of the more easier ones on this unit. But as you'll see, there's a couple of, even though there's no code that gets introduced at the beginning of this lesson, really the code that you're going to be using in this will be a text code and also a text size code, which I will show you. Which I will show you as we go along in the lesson. All right. By the time that you're finished with this lesson, you'll be able to place text on screen using a coordinate plane, and you'll also be able to use arguments to control how text is displayed on screen. So the assignment itself will be sections 3 through 7. All right. And I'm not going to even go into section 2 here. So I'm just going to quickly introduce this assignment and just show you how a couple of these sections work. All right. So starting here on section 3, all right, you'll notice that when you run the program here, there's one line of code. All right. There's two lines of code. One that has the background, but really it's the second line here where it says text, and then it says change me and add another text block. All right. Over here, you'll see the coordinates, okay? All right, the coordinates of the text block, okay? And what you're going to do is that you are going to, if you even just look at the workspace, you look at what line 2 says on the text. It says change me and add another text block, all right? If you look at the directions up here, it says change the display text in the provided code, which is this right here, which I have highlighted. So you just change it to something else. And then you would add a second text block to write in a different part of the screen. To find the second text block, if you go inside the toolbox, you'll notice that there are, by this point, you're going to see that there are 5 different labels here. And each label is going to have several lines of code for each one. All right. If you select drawing on the toolbox, you'll notice that there's about 10 or so lines of code that you could select from. The one that you're going to use is the one that says text, okay, and then str, which is short for string. All right, and so what you're going to do, that's the text block. All right, it draws text into the display, positioned at the x and y coordinate, okay, and also, you'll notice there too is that right underneath there's another one that says text size pixels. Okay, pixel is a unit of measurement. All right, we're not going to get into text size just yet. We will in a few minutes, but just to quickly go into that, the text size is measured in pixels. Pixels is a unit of measurement. 1 pixel is one little dot on a screen. If you have a text size of 20, that's basically like a font size. All right. But what they do is, instead of measuring it like, it's like a font size, they refer to it as a pixel. Okay. It's similar meaning. Okay. So what you're going to do is that in this section, you're just changing this right here and adding a second text block to write in a different part of the screen. So you can put whatever message you want there. Just keep it PG. All right. And once you're done with that, you can move on to the next section, which is section 4. All right. Section 4 on lesson 9 here. Okay. What that entails is that, it has 3 lines of code, or 3 lines of text inside this program: small, medium, and large. What you're going to do is you look at the code to see how it works. You add a new text size block to make the word large the biggest. And this one, deals with the text size code. All right. Notice that line 2 here has text size of 20, and then right underneath it has text small, which is this right here. Then it has the coordinates. Okay. But notice that the text size here is pretty small. All right. For medium, it's 40. Okay. Now notice line 6. Okay. Notice that the text size for both medium and large is the same. Okay. So what you need to do is that in between lines 5 and 6, you add a text size code and make it larger than 40. Simple as that. All right. Section 5, you only need to do one of two here. Okay. This one right here, this has been in past years, this was a required one to do. And some people either could finish this in like a minute, while others took over a half hour to finish. This can be a very tricky one, but really what it is it's you're not really adding any code here. You're just rearranging the order. Okay. Some people are able to figure this out in about a minute and be able to, make this look like this. Others have had some trouble. Okay. So if you think you're going to have trouble with it, you can just do the other one instead on on section 5. All right. But essentially, if you choose this section, it's a debugging code. You just make this look like this. Really all you have to do is change the order. All right. The other one you can choose on section 5 is a flying riddle. And what you're going to do here, okay, is that, all right. Basically, you have to, there's a bug inside this cartoon, and you have to run the code and see the error message, try to find it. It's right over here. Okay, look for clues as to where the bug is in the code. Once you find the bug, fix it. Okay, and you're going to have to look at all the lines of code above it to try to figure out what's wrong with this and fix it. All right. So as I said, for section 5, you can either do this section or the alien behind bars. Okay, either or. All right. Section 6. All right. In this particular section, all right, what you're going to do here, all right, is that there's a scene that's here, but there's text needed. So what you're going to do is you're going to add 2 pieces of text to the following scene, and make the 2 pieces of text different sizes. So you're going to be going to the toolbox, go to select drawing, and you're going to be using this line of code and this line of code for, you're going to be using both of these twice. Okay. So that way you have this character saying something and, this character saying something. Okay. All right. So, all right. So that's what you're going to do there. All right. In the last section, section 7. Okay. This is another one where you have, it says choose from the following activities. There are 4 that you can choose from. All right. This one here, if you choose this one, text color. All right. This one is learning to change the color of the text. All right. Now, this might be a little confusing if you're just if you had just finished up lesson 8. If you recall, in the last section of lesson 8, there was a code that gets introduced called a sprite tint. This is different. Okay. Because this is not, when you're entering in text, it's not necessarily a variable here, because you'll notice that inside the workspace that the text that's in there is not set as a variable. Okay. You'll even notice that in this particular section here, all of this code here is after the draw sprite. So the text that's on here is not necessarily a sprite, okay, or a variable of any sort. So what you'll notice here is that you'll see this rainbow. The word rainbows is colored red, and then in the sky is colored orange. All right. Notice how that works here on the workspace. Basically, all that you have to do is put a fill color above the word, in between lines 8 and 9, and make it whatever color you want. maybe I would say make it a rainbow color. But so yeah, you just have to, if you choose this one, you're just changing that one. You're just changing, you're adding a fill color between lines 8 and 9, right? And let's see, hold on here 1 second. All right. This one here is a white text on white background. Basically, this is what you're doing. What you're going to be doing here is that you are going to be adding a border on the text using a stroke command. Okay. Okay. Read the code to see how it works. Add a stroke weight command to make the text stand out more. Okay. All right. And the stroke weight command, that is under. Yeah, there we go. It's under the drawing. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to, read the directions here, change it around a little bit to make it stand out more. Okay. And it's, like I said, you're using the stroke weight command or the stroke command to add a border to your text. Okay. Another option that you can use is on right over here, wrapping text. Okay. Learn how to make big text fixed into a small area. Okay. What you have to do here, all right, if you look at this, if you look at the directions here, all right, you're going to use one thing that's, I don't know if I pointed this out in a prior video, is that when you using Blockly code, you'll see over here, if you look on line 3, all right, you have 7 years ago, and then you have some coordinates here. But over here, you'll see an arrow. Okay, if you click on that arrow, it adds some more coordinates here, and it's blank. Okay, in particular the width and the height. All right, or width and the length. All right, and what you can do here, okay, for a text, all right, is if I make these numbers 400. Text becomes wrapped and you'll be able to read it. Okay, that's how that works. Okay, now, all right. So as I said, once you're done with section 7, you're finished with the assignment. There's also there's also a free play. I apologize. This one here. All right. Basically, use what you've learned to create whatever you like. If you choose this, make sure that that whatever you show, whatever is whatever you have on here has all of the concepts, has text sizes, and things of that nature implemented in it. Okay. If you choose to use this one probably would be the hardest one to do out of the 4 on section 7. All right. So once you're done with section 7, you're finished with the assignment. It shouldn't take you too long to do, but if you have questions with it, feel free to let me know. Thank you very much.